Let's share this story by TVC News' Michael Ilya with you.
Festivity is in the air, and this gathering brings together indigents and visitors to Ekpa in a celebration of culture, empowerment, and outreach.
Continue to clap if you want.
With the theme, Reaching the Unreached, this year's Ona-Ara Day culminates in the distribution of hundreds of bags of rice to widows, carried out in an orderly manner to ensure safety and avoid any stampede. Founder of the Ona-Ara movement, Olubenga Rotimi, says the sociocultural group was established to spread poverty alleviation programs and reduce crime in all its forms.
We expect that by the next fourth edition, we are going to be going into farming, in which is going to be all-encompassing. What we intend to do is to engage our youths very meaningfully. We intend to see how we are able to acquire land within with our environment here, and we will be able to encourage them, and then we are going to make it to be more of a value chain.
The event also features a medical outreach, the commissioning of a borehole, as well as a basic health sciences laboratory to improve water supply and health education in the town, with attendees looking forward to even more impactful editions in the future.
Many people are going through various problems in their homes, how to feed their children and the rest. It has come in to at least to close that gap, so that they too they can celebrate like other people are celebrating in the society.
I thank God for today, for God make me to see today, because today is one of my happiest days in my life, because I'm very happy today to see, to be among of the people to take this empowerment.
So the founder, I pray for him that God provide for him more grace to his elbow in Jesus' name.
Beneficiaries of this year's Ona-Ara Day are in high spirits as they commend what they describe as the movement's commitment to building a stronger and more inclusive community-driven effort.
Beautiful celebration. So, Biko, talk to us about the Ona-Ara Day celebration.
Yes, it's a thing of joy for me to see a young man like the founder of Ona-Ara, Benga Rotimi. He's a young estate valuer based in Abuja, and he has decided to use some of the resources that God has made available to him to help residents of his community. This is what we want to see. We want to see people come back home and spread joy in their ancestral homes, not to cause division and try to cause needless chaos in the community. Benga has set the right example, and wherever you find yourself, always think of the needy, people who do not know where their next meal will come from. You will never know how much joy you'll be able to spread by simply reaching out and giving to the needy. There are many people facing health challenges. Benga brought doctors, nurses, opticians to the community. They conducted tests on people. Those who need glasses will be provided for them. Those who, based on the immediate findings, require drugs, they were provided drugs. And they didn't stop there. They also provided palliative grains to widows and the aged in the society, those who cannot toil like you and I, you know, just to put food on their table. And it didn't stop there. They also inaugurated a well-equipped modern laboratory donated by the young man, Benga Rotimi, to Baptist High School. The Baptist High School It's one of the oldest schools in Ogun land.
Okay.
Ogun land of Kogi State.
Kogi State.
And when you go to the school now, it's a pale shadow of what it used to be. Now, Benga has deemed it fit to give them well-equipped laboratory, because without doing that, it means that the students will have to go to neighboring communities where these facilities are present for them to have practicals, to be able to do practicals for their school certificate exams. Before now, I think over 3 years ago, they also provided laboratory for one of the secondary schools in the community called the Community Secondary School. So, in addition to donating, providing a motorized borehole for the same Baptist High School to take care of, to solve the problem of lack of potable water in the school. So, I think that when you look at what Ona-Ara has done, it sets the high standard for other NGOs, other charity organizations. It shows clearly how it should be done. And the others know now that they have to do something for their community. They have to give back to their community. That is what they have done. And I believe that the sky is their limit. And let's not also forget the role that the National Primary Health Care Development Agency played in all this.
Okay,
because,
they had a role to play.
Yes, they partnered with the National Primary Health Care Agency. Okay. So they also helped, they provided personnel.
Okay, for the blood test, for the test, the eye test and all. Okay.
No, these are basic things that you should be able to walk into
a primary health center to do.
But our communities do not all have this.
The financial.
Yes, they don't even have this primary.
Okay, they don't even have it existing.
Normally, primary health centers should be in all political wards.
True.
That is the idea. But I can tell you that that is not the case across Nigeria. We do not have primary health centers in all the political wards in our country. And that's why our people still die from preventable diseases and all that. That's why in some cases, your wife is due for childbirth. They have to drive.
Go long distance.
Go long. Even in Lagos, there are still some places where the next health facility is far away. But I'm happy that Ona-Ara partnered with the National Primary Health Care Agency, and they helped them to deliver joy to people of Ekpa, helping them to meet their immediate health needs.
Okay. Mayor, this is coming at a time where most of Nigerians are having difficulty, but bringing empowerment at the right time for the people of Ekpa, what do you have to say to that?
Yes, I agree with you, because one of the things that set us apart in Africa is our communal living.
Yes.
In every community, we see ourselves as our brother's keeper. It's just now that things have changed. Okay. Sometimes the community adopts everybody. They see everybody as one of their own. So, and we look out for each other.
Exactly.
But now things have changed. Survivor, trying to make ends meet, has made everybody to concentrate on their immediate family. So when we see NGOs and people who try to spread joy within the community, it's something that is commendable. So I want to commend Ona-Ara for doing what they are doing, because this is a young man who is a person of means, and to spread part of that to his community is something that I would recommend to other people, because especially up north, when we have a lot of communities that have not seen activities of government, or they've not seen it enough, or government has not done enough in those communities. When we see people who try to step in
and provides support to people is something that is very commendable.
And also talk to us about the fact that it was well organized. We see over time, I think a few days ago or a few weeks ago, where some people tried to organize something and it turned into something.
Yes, yes. They have to organize it properly. Aliun Dume was showing pictures of people lining up at Bodilon.
Yes.
This is something that Ashwa Tinubu has been doing for 21 years. I've witnessed it. And a lot of the beggars on, I think, Ebutemet and other places, they know that once it's a festive season.
Every year, or the festive season.
We've never heard of any form of stampede or anything, you know. And yes, poverty does not know ethnicity.
Sure.
But that is not what we are saying here. Nobody has gone to do a head count of the people lined up to know whether one tribe is dominated the people who are there. This is not the issue, you know, and trying to make it look like, oh, it is just this season that people became hungry.
And that's not fair.
Yeah, and we saw, even during just before the election, Donald Trump was doing, what was it called? Was giving people food packs.
And even cash.
Yes. So what are we talking about? Donald Trump was giving people food packs in America. I remember a Nigerian who received his own and did a video. So it's not new here. There will always be hungry people.
Sure.
There will always be people who need to be supported. You saw the video from Canada.
Canada, yes. I was about to say that.
So our politicians weaponizing poverty and all that, they should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. Nigeria will survive. Nigeria will come out of these difficult times a greater nation. If people want to organize, you can see the way they line up.
Exactly.
This is not even a crowd. You need to see when Zulum or the governor of Yobe State, when they are sharing palliatives, you need to see the crowd. Zulum can share palliatives to more than 500,000 people at once, and you will not hear of a stampede.
A stampede.
Yes. Because there is a particular IDP camp that had up to 400,000 people. In Borno State, I don't know now that, okay, maybe the number will have gone down. But I've seen him share palliatives to people in excess of 400,000, and there was no stampede. In Yobe, I even have videos. You see they will put the rice bags on the ground like this. So people line up, different rows. You can see about 20 bags of rice on one row.
Yes.
They will line them up like that. People will come pick their own. No stampede.
Orderliness.
No stampede. It is not in Yoruba land alone where there is poverty or where people need
Exactly.
food. But if you don't organize it very well, you fail to bring law enforcement to help you control crowd, you end up killing people. You end up killing people.
No matter the good intention.
Yes, it happened in Port Harcourt. And if you do not organize it very well, then you are liable if any negative thing happens.
Absolutely.
In Port Harcourt, people came to church to receive food packs. And there was stampede because they had been lining up for more than 24 hours.
Wow.
So they became tired. Yes. So some of them broke through the gate and people died. So this is the point that we are saying, that we are making. In America, there are people who sleep in the open.
Yeah, destitute, yeah.
In the UK, when I traveled, I saw even in a highbrow area like Oxford, I saw beggars.
Yeah, around Liverpool,
Just waiting there for people to give them handouts.
True.
Even the Holy Books say that there would always be beggars
in the land,
us.
yes.
And the Holy Books admonish us to help the needy. We will never have a feeling that, government will be able to banish poverty, the government will be able to defeat poverty, and everybody will have food to eat. It's a utopia. It will never happen. It will never happen. And it's not everywhere that you find Monaco, a community like Monaco, where people don't even see any need to steal, where crime wave is literally non-existent. across the world.
Because Monaco is a city-state, it's just a small...
So in other words, they should not just politicize this issue.
Yeah, like you said, I agree that the economy is bad. I agree that things are difficult for people, but we should not weaponize that. It's not as if Nigeria's situation is
the worst.
It's like that all over the world. Everybody is going through bad times. The economy, because of COVID and the aftermath of COVID, the world economy is just trying to get out of that. So things will be difficult for people.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. Some political office holders also used the festive season to connect with their constituents. One of such is a member of the House of Representatives representing Nigerian Ifelodun Federal Constituency, Paul Kalejai, who provided succor to more than 5,000 constituents by distributing mega empowerments, palliatives, medical outreach and other activities for 2 weeks to fulfill his campaign promise to his people. Kalejai said it is part of the efforts of the government to make life better for citizens. Let's share this story by TVC News Ona-Ara with you.
This is a mega empowerment and palliative distribution by the House of Reps member for Ajeromi Ifelodun Federal Constituency, Kalejai Adeboye Paul. It is one of the many impactful programs from street light to digital marketing training for the youth and medical outreach for 2 weeks to cater to the welfare of the constituents. Here, these empowerment tools and food palliatives are distributed to thousands to celebrate the festive season with families. The federal lawmaker explains the motivation behind the mega empowerment.
This empowerment is not provided by me, it's provided by the federal government under the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We have intervened in 2 primary health centers, one in Nigerian, one in Ifelodun. We have supplied them equipment that are needed for them to succeed in ensuring that they can care for the, for the needs of our people. We have commissioned transformers for us to support the PHCN in terms of provision of lighting for our people. So we've done so much. This is a mini climax of the entire 2 weeks program.
The beneficiaries are grateful for the initiative.
I will use it in the way that told me that I should use it. I will use this to benefit and take care of my family.
Every house is going to be very happy because, this time things are very difficult. So we thank him very much.
We now have something for empowerment. We use it to empower the visually impaired. They will now be on transportation. They can bring money, put food on our table.
The constituents are advised to make good use of the empowerment materials.
Nobody should sell all these things. Because if you are giving marwa or you are giving grading machine or any other, if you are using it, you will be collecting money and the money will be coming in manifold. So please, people should not sell. The syndrome of a big power should stop. The government is trying, both at the local, state, and the federal government.
The climax of the 2-week program is the Merciful God Concert 2.0, where religious leaders and members from different denominations and faiths converge to praise God. The federal lawmaker says the yearly concert is to enhance religious tolerance and show gratitude to God for his mercy.
The motivation is derived from my promise to God Almighty. So every 24th of December, praise and worship God to appreciate him for granting me the opportunity to win my elections. Secondly, second motivation is a fulfillment of my promise to the people of our constituencies, Ajeromi Federal Constituency, that I will serve my people and that all the dividends of democracy I'll bring to this federal constituency.
This is the first time we are seeing, members of House of Representatives, coming back to their constituents to give, account of their stewardship and also to empower the less privileged. This is where, we are getting it right as far as democracy is concerned.
This is what we pray for in our nation. This is what we want all our politicians to be doing, to recognize God as the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. And it's when we do this that we can move forward.
Be you Christian, Muslim, or wherever
any religion you belong to. Just ascribe all glory to God.
Others describe the federal lawmaker as an erudite politician who has the love of the people at heart.
Very erudite. It is not easy to become a PhD holder. So you should imagine the kind of, the quality and the personality that he is. And we expect the best from him. And that is giving us at this moment.
A man of honor, as a politician that within the short period in office, he has bring the defense of democracy to this local government in a way that the people of the local government are not expecting. You know, it is not the first MHR we have been having from this local government, but he has been exceptional.
The guest gospel artist Esther Igbekele enlivened the atmosphere with her administration as the audience praised God and danced into the night. La Awakon, TVC News, Lagos.
VK, for 2 straight weeks.
Yes.
This empowerment is coming at the right time.
Yes, because Christmas is a season of giving. When you do not have enough for your household, you can't be thinking of giving to other people. So, from what you give, the beneficiary is in position to also give
to others.
Yes. That is what people want to see. A situation in which people can't find money to spend. People can reach out to people that in the past they had routinely reached out to. It's not something that makes people happy. So when you give, you also expect that the beneficiary will be able to give to other people. Yes. Oh, I have 3. You do not have 1. Let me give you 1 out of the 3 that I have. So it makes the season so pleasurable. It has to be joy of the season that you are in position to even give people out of what you two have been given. Honorable Kalejaye excelled as a local government chairman, and we can see that even as a member of the House of Reps, he's still adding value. He's still doing his best. When he told me that he was going to do empowerment over 2 weeks, I was like, what's this person talking about? But the thing about our job is that kind of the 2-week program, you can't tell the story in a few minutes.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, we still have to tell the story and find a way to make the story have meaning to people. One big takeaway for me is the admonition to the beneficiaries to please not sell what they have been given.
Very, very important.
Sewing machines, I know that what our people usually do is, once they are given these things, they will go and sell.
That's not nice.
They will go and sell. They get generators, they go and sell the generators. They give them sewing machines, they sell. They get Okada, they give them Okada, they will go and sell. I know a man who donated more than 50 Okadas to a community, a small community in Kogi State. Today, if you find more than 5 of those Okadas in that community, you have tried. Because they will have sold them to non-indigens, taking them as far as even neighboring states to go and dispose. Well, the person who gave these things to you expect you to earn a living, to continue to earn a living, and not simply resort to begging for handouts from people. What you have been provided can put food on your table. So why would you want to sell those things? People get farm implements, they go and sell to other people. So Honorable Kalejaye has done his bit. He has provided palliatives. He has shown compassion for the needy. You can see grinding machines, all kinds of things. You can see tricycles and all that. You have to use what you have been given to provide for your family. If you sell those things, in no time you will finish.
Exactly. You're back to square one.
Yeah. So it's discouraging to the giver to know that a few months down the line, people have decided to sell these things. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So congratulations to Honorable Kalejaye, and I also think that putting God first is also a lesson that we can learn from, because I attended the 2022 edition of the Praise Night, during which churches in the area will go into competition for the best choir and all that.
Oh, music.
Yes, you see, you listen to beautiful music and all that. And he continued it in the year 2023. I couldn't, 2024, I mean. I attended 2023. 2024, he continued. I couldn't attend that one, but it's good to hear that they continued it. So by putting God first, there's no way that God will not take you.
Exactly. And another thing, apart from giving out these tricycles, you know, they also trained youths on digital marketing training. And I saw that that's human capacity building. How significant?
Yes, I agree that Honorable Kalejaye has done well. What he has done for his number of constituencies is something commendable. Because, like I said, when we have the kind of challenges that we have, empowerment is very important, because those empowered could be able to earn a living on their own, to be able to solve their financial problems. And Kalejaye particularly is one of the leaders of Ajero Mifalodi that I have respect for. Is that local government is one of the local governments that's doing well, and he, as the leader there, has done relatively well. But I have problems with empowerment, especially when it is done by members of the National Assembly. The problem that I have with it is that there are people like him that have done, yes, it's good to empower people, but the primary duty of members of the National Assembly is lawmaking. A lot of people that we sent there to be able to enhance good governance in the country are not doing their job. There are a lot of people in the National Assembly that don't even contribute to debates at all. Throughout their tenure, they will not sponsor any bill.
Some are not even present.
They will not sponsor any bill. They just come, make appearance, and collect money, and go home. And then they will not come back and do palliatives to members of their community, and will commend them that they have done well. That is not their job. The primary duty is to be able to do good laws that will enhance and promote democracy and good governance, which they don't do. A lot of them don't do. There are a lot of people in the National Assembly, both Senate and House of Rep, who are doing very well. You see them, they sponsor bills, you know. They contribute to debates, they contribute to good governance. But there are a lot of people there who just go there to warm seats. You will see a member of House of Rep or Senate that will go through a tenure and will not say one word. They will just sit there and collect money. Then he will not come back and buy things and do empowerment.
Whose responsibility is it to monitor the activities of their lawmakers?
They're not supposed to be monitored, because the primary duty, part of the problem that we have in our democracy is that our National Assembly is not as strong as it should be, because a lot of members do not even have idea of lawmaking, and now that can contribute to good governance. They just see it as just holding an elective post, and they say, my people have voted for me. But they will go there and not say anything. If you're a member of National Assembly, you don't contribute to debate, you don't sponsor bills.
Then why are you there?
Then you are not, whatever you do, you have failed. You cannot come back and then and do things in your community and use that to make up for your inactivity in the National
Assembly. For the past 1 year.
So it is important that members of the National Assembly, why it is good that they do this empowerment, which is very good, because it is good to, like I said, if we empower members of the concerns, they will be able to now fend for themselves, and you will have contributed to development of that community.
Primary responsibility.
But the primary duty is for them to contribute to good governance by enacting good laws.
Good laws.
And so it is important that members of the National Assembly should know what they were voted to do, because a lot of them don't do things. It's amazing that you will see a lot of them throughout the particular tenure, they will not make any statement in that place. Any statement.
BK, Mayor Akinpele has raised a very, very strong issue here. What are your thoughts on it?
I think that lawmakers do much more than simply coming to the floor to talk. If you are the chairman of the House Committee on Public Accounts, for example, I doubt if you can even have time to show up more than 2 times a week because of the volume of work that they do.
Okay.
The volume of work. They do far more committee work than coming to plenary and all that.
Debate, sponsor bills.
They do a lot of petitions, people will come, and you have to treat all of these things.
Okay.
We have hundreds of agencies of government. If you are chairman of House Committee on Public Accounts, for example, you are going to be extremely busy. Most of the time, they cannot be in the Senate, or the House of Reps, can't be in plenary. They are doing oversight functions here and there. They are attending to petitions from our people.
Okay.
You know? All of these things need attention. In the past, I used to blame them, but I discovered that even in Congress, it's similar.
Okay.
Except when there is a very important sitting,
like in budget,
where their vote is very important. Most of the time, they do their work at the level of their committees and all that.
Okay.
So it's even during vacations, you still see that some of those committees find a way to sit because of the volume of work and the fact that they need to deliver in good time. House of Reps, during the last dispensation, came up with more than 900 bills. How many of them were given assent?
That's another thing.
Were given assent. You have a situation in which, in terms of percentage, maybe just 100 of the bills they came up with will even get executive assent. But you see, the other day, the senator from Delta came up with this bill that they should criminalize using dollars to do business in Nigeria. I think we discussed it here. I can almost bet that it will not get executive assent. Just watch and see whether, ask me.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get, because I'm looking forward.
A lot of them, a lot of those bills like that. So people in the National Assembly, on their part, they try to come up with some laws, but it's up to the executive to pass those bills into law. And when you look at the percentage, even from the Senate, apart from a few of them, like Governor Obasanjo, most people, they come up with bills, doesn't see the light of day. I still remember what former Deputy Senate President, what was his name? The one jailed now in the UK.
The Deputy Senate President.
Yes.
Okay.
Ekweremadu. You know, he had come up with a bill on state police. Nothing has been done about that bill. Some of the fears we now have, Ekweremadu had already addressed those fears in his bill. If you can get hold of that bill, you will see. But what happened? Political considerations sometimes will make the executive not to even give assent. So I also think that these lawmakers, they get constituency votes and all that. Yes. They must spend the money. They've got to spend the money because they have access to this money. If they don't give it, that means they will go and spend it on their harem of girlfriends and other people. It's true. If we say your business is simply to make...
No. Let me clarify.
Let them spend the money. People are waiting.
I did not say they should not do empowerment. What I'm saying is that...
The primary...
I'm not saying that the members of the National Assembly. It's not that every member of the National Assembly. I said there are some members of the National Assembly that does not contribute to whatever is going on there.
Or it could be useful at those committees.
At the committee level. Yes, at the committee meetings, that alone cannot justify your being a congressperson. Let me just access
okay, Salam now, who is chairman of House of Reps Public Accounts. How many times does?
No, you can. You see,
when you are extremely hardworking.
When you are a chairman when you're chairman of a committee, yes, you can be busy.
It's understandable.
To do with, because even at that, oversight functions is secondary to what we are supposed to do as a lawmaker. Your primary duty is enacting laws.
All right,
oversight functions.
All right,
and then when you even make laws, and the executive does not sign it, you can override it. If the executive doesn't sign it, what you just need to do is to override it.
How many times
they don't do that.
In this Fourth Republic,
they don't do that.
I remember only once it was Obasanjo that they decided to override this veto. That is on the NDDC, creation of the NDDC. Okay. If you want to simply concentrate on making laws, how do you then oversight the executive, do checks and balancing and all that? There was a time when the customs just said that, okay, they will be stopping people by the road. If your car is even old as 6 years, they will say you should go and bring
custom papers
and all that. It was the National Assembly that stopped it. Of course, that's not lawmaking. But they have other things that they have to do aside from lawmaking.
Okay.
If the president wants to do something that is, in their view, wrong and not in the interest of our country, they have the right to step in and say, no, you can't do this at this stage.
Okay.
You understand?
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation, where the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, has continued to demonstrate capacity and compassion in leadership. Governor Zulum announced that the state government will subsidize the cost of petrol to 600 naira per litre for farmers in the communities affected by Boko Haram insurgency. The governor said the gesture is aimed at alleviating the financial burdens faced by farmers in the communities that have suffered economic and infrastructure destruction due to years of conflict. He also distributed farm inputs, including 2,000 bags of blended NPK fertilizer, 1,000 units of water pumps, and 620 units of gasoline pumps to farmers. Mikhail, safety nets for farmers in Borno State at this time. Well, tell me, what is the idea behind this gesture?
You know, the governor is encouraged by the fact that in terms of agricultural yield, there is a bit of improvement. And the improvement is down to the fact that security is improving. People are being encouraged to go back to their farms, their ancestral homes, and then farm. Some of the IDPs are being told to go home and farm. IDPs are being encouraged to farm. They are being given land, go and farm, so that you can fend for yourself. And in the process, you are helping us to address the problem of food insecurity. Sure. You know, so he wants to stimulate agri-production the best way that he can. Remember, even when subsidy was removed, he was the first governor to introduce transport subsidy.
Yes,
and farmers benefited from it. He put buses on ground to move farmers to their farms.
Okay.
Yes, I even have videos of farmers who are fully loaded in some of those buses, these Benz trucks, and they were taking them to their farms, free of charge. Now, what he's doing now is people have to irrigate their farmlands. Most of the time, they use petrol. Rice needs a lot of water, and you have to irrigate your farmland using those pumps. Some of them are hand pumps, but you have to find a way to pump the water so that you can be guaranteed of good yield. Now the governor says, okay, we'll procure the petrol and then sell to you. In Maiduguri, petrol is sold at the average 1,200 naira per litre. But government will buy petrol from marketers and then sell directly to farmers at 600 naira. That will really go a long way in helping those farmers to move around and to even irrigate those farmlands. And then is also providing solar pumps and all that. He's just doing his best to see that agri-production is stimulated, because Borno can actually feed Nigeria beans and rice especially. Yes, although some of
tomato too.
Yes, yes, and some of those big production belts in that state are located in very dangerous areas. Yes. Marte, for example, can feed Nigeria rice. It can produce and even fish. You go to Baga, I've not seen a bigger fish market than Baga in the whole of our country.
True.
Trailers. A friend of mine told me that in the past, about 100 trailers will move out of Baga with fish in one day. Wow. Yes. See, 100 trailers loaded with roasted fish moving out of Baga. People come from as far as Central African Republic to come and buy fish. Well, insecurity has damaged a lot of things, but the fish market still remains.
Okay.
You know, so the government is just trying to stimulate agri-production and ease the pain. He doesn't like to see people suffer. So that's why he personally gets involved in easing the pains. He's constantly thinking of what he can do to ease the pains of our people. And this is the latest in the efforts being made by him to ease the pain of farmers and, by extension, stimulate agri-production.
Exactly. Now, Mayor, another big problem is, this is Nigeria, you know our people. How will the state governors recognize the farmers at the point of sale of petrol to them to avoid infiltration?
I don't think that will be a problem.
Oh, really?
Yes, I don't. Let me start by saying that Governor Zulum is one of my favorite governors.
Sure, same here.
I think he's one of the best governors in this country. When you govern a state that has a kind of insecurity going on in Borno State, especially terrorism and all that, and it can still deliver the dividends of democracy consistently for the people of that state, it deserves our respect, because we all know the security challenges in that state. But I'm particularly happy about what he's doing, because when you subsidize petroleum products for farmers, it's the kind of things that governors should think about. Because the huge security votes that each governor collects, that is what we are supposed to be doing with a security vote, not to just put it and be spending it. Because it's a security vote, they don't account for it. It's for you to be able to take care of emergencies and security situations.
It's not audited.
It's not audited. So it's not supposed to be a pocket money. But a lot of governors don't do that. What the governor has done is that, okay, we need to stimulate food production in our state. We have identified the challenges facing our farmers. Part of those challenges has to do with transportation. And paying 1,200 may be very difficult for these farmers. So let us come in and subsidize it. Perfect.
Mayor, you've not answered that question. The farmers, do they have ID cards, identification?
That's what I want to answer.
Yes.
You see, especially in a place like Borno, that has security situation, government has presence in these farming communities.
Yes.
They have to provide the infrastructure in these farming communities. You understand?
Okay.
And so it is easy to identify these farmers and put them in groups.
In cooperatives.
Okay, in cooperatives. So there's a register for them.
Of course, they'll be in cooperatives, because for government to be able to do things for them, you can't go and be meeting them individually. So in each area, you are going to put them in cooperatives.
Okay.
You are going to provide infrastructure. When you want to clear the lands, you have to do it within a cooperative.
Okay.
So when you do that within a cooperative, to be able to now give, to subsidize it, it's simple because
for transparency and accountability.
Members of those communities, you know their leaders, you know those in those communities.
Exactly.
So that's why I say I don't think that will be a problem. What is important is that for him to think, this is how I solve this problem, this challenging problem, taking money that Utato will have been spent for other things.
Yes.
That's why I said we should encourage other governors to be able to look at certain challenges, apart from the security challenges in the community, to be able to spend these security votes that they always collect and they don't give account for.
Yeah.
So that they'll be able to
very
do
important.
better things for their community.
And I hope it is sustained as well. Very, very important here. So let's take a trip to Enugu State. For the governor of Enugu State, southeast Nigeria, Peter Mba, all it takes to bring changes in governance is vision. His efforts to transform the state has attracted commendation from President Bola Tinubu, who heaped praises on him during his visit to the state. President Tinubu said the state is making good progress. President Tinubu's visit to Enugu has been appraised by the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, who commended the president's approach. Governor Soludo cited his attention to development in the southeast with inauguration of various projects. Now let's share the story by TVC News. Bamidele Ajayi with you.
It is his first official visit to Enugu, southeast Nigeria. National Airport and was received by key stakeholders in southeast region. After which, President Bola Tinubu inspected the Guard of Honor. The president's first job in Enugu is the inauguration of 30 out of 260 completed smart green schools.
Smart schools are the type of schools we should have because schools are built for contemporary periods. When I went to school, it was to use a pen and a paper. Today's child is going to learn using an interactive touchscreen connected to a tablet PC or a similar device because that's what they were born into and that's the way they're learning.
We are excited, we are emboldened, we are encouraged because now this is no longer just a dream for Enugu alone. It has become a national dream. Every state now wants to replicate the smart green school powered by experiential learning.
Then the president moved to the symbolic commissioning of 90 rehabilitated and constructed roads at the Even roundabout, as well as the abandoned International Conference Center.
There's no better investment that you can make than the effective security of life. And I saw those vehicles, the stress, rapid response is the way to go. It looked like the other name I created in Lagos, rapid response. You cannot spend the future of generations yet unborn in advance. Don't bankrupt the nation before they are born. And no, people will fight, grumble, abuse me and everything. But I asked for the job. I know what it takes. I believe in myself. And I believe I can gather a very good team and build a nation. It's our country. We have to work really hard for it to be a nation that we can be proud of. Change the narrative. Negative comment about Nigeria. I'm not taking that. I'm very proud of Nigeria. You all should be proud of Nigeria. Oba is proud of Nigeria. He's doing everything possible to improve security of lives and property, to attract foreign investment.
Governor Peter Mbah expresses his desire to invest in education to solve insecurity, build sound human capital, and deliver modern infrastructure development.
A number of those projects are essentially connecting the dots for us to enable us realize our dream of growing the economy from the current levels of 4.4 billion to 30 billion. Our development model is one that it's all-encompassing and inclusive. It takes into account the weakest amongst us, and which is why in the smart school, the smart green school that Your Excellency commissioned earlier today, it's being built across the 260 electoral wards in Enugu State. We're also doing the same intervention in the healthcare space. All these infrastructural developments are largely possible because of the bold initiatives you have taken, the courageous pronouncements you made in order to free up funds for development, the removal of fuel subsidy, the unification of the foreign exchange, and also a number of social interventions that your government continues to provide for the people of this country. We are now essentially, with those funds freed, able to fully complete these infrastructural projects. And it's not just fiscal infrastructure. They are both social infrastructure and digital infrastructure going on.
At the stakeholders meeting, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu explained that the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri rail line is a work in progress, assures that the Anambra-Benue River Basin will be considered to grow the country's gas supply.
The question of rail line is a work in progress. I inherited some of these critical problems, and I'm going to do it. Gas is alternative fuel, and there's no wasting of time, but invest more in it. We'll do it together.
Other project inaugurated is the state-of-the-art command and control center with 150 patrol vehicles fitted with AI-embedded surveillance cameras. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News, Enugu.
All right, BKO, how do you interpret the importance of the president's visits to Enugu State, and most especially the region, the southeast region?
You know, the visit was actually the first time by a sitting president in 10 years. According to them, he says this is the first time a sitting president is paying an official visit to the state in more than 10 years. You know, so choosing to go to Enugu and making it his first official visit in the year 2025 underlines the fact that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is convinced that Governor Peter Mbah is doing a good job in that state. We've been talking about him for some time.
Yes.
I wish we can see visuals of the command and control center. I've not seen anything like that in this country. In fact, I felt like I was
in a different country.
The level of investment on security, a lot of it driven by artificial intelligence, is astounding. You need to see, because the day we had our media chat with him, he led us into the place. They had not even finished it.
Oh, really?
I've seen command and control centers in Kano, in Zamfara, and a few other places. Not one comes anywhere close to what I saw here. And look at this international conference center. You know, it had been abandoned for years, you know. I saw this international conference center during this, this is what it looks like, during the time of Chimaroke Namani.
Okay.
It was to be named after Michael Okpara,
Okay.
Chief Michael Okpara. But it's this governor who now came and completed it. It was abandoned. Now you can see how beautiful it is. So the governor is doing, I think he also distributed some cars to
security
agencies on the day. You know, so the president had a busy day. Different places, inaugurating road projects here, inaugurating the smart schools, inaugurating the command and control center. You see, this is what they are going to show us. Now, look at that screen.
This is huge.
See how big the screen is.
Yes.
This screen is like 1/20th in terms of size. It is like 20 times the size of what I have seen in other states.
Wow.
It's just a big, big screen, bigger than this.
The gigantic
what you have behind you, and they can spot what's going on in the different local governments. Whether it's a car that is on a lonely road,
exactly,
you can see, the governor can see it from there. So we have to change methods of fighting insecurity. And the more we deploy technology, you can see, look at this screen.
No, this is beautiful.
Look, these are different parts of the state that you are seeing. You know, the green area, and look at those roads.
And you're seeing it in real time.
Yes. So the more we deploy, you can see the different areas. See how big the screen is, you know? So the more we deploy technology to fight crime in our country, the greater our chances of success. I don't think we should continue to use the same method and expect that things will...
Exactly. Mayor, the Enugu State governor, you know, he plans to build an economy from $4.5 billion to $30 billion. Now, looking at all the good things has been, how will you describe the administration of Governor Peter Mba?
Yeah, I think it has to do with his background. You know, he left for Enugu from Lagos, from the corporate world. So he has forward-looking ideas. When you see that is Command and Control Center, it is very commendable because Enugu is part of the areas where they had problems, Enugu, Anambra, Imo, where they used to have the problems of this insecurity that has to do with IPOB and all that. So coming and doing so well in the security area is very commendable, especially, and he has been able to show that to fight insecurity, you have to change the way you are doing things. You understand? So that's why you depend on technology and especially AI. Yes. So that's very commendable. And he has done, and for a governor that's not in the party of the president to be so commended by the president shows that he's doing something very nice.
There's a lot.
It shows that he's doing something very nice because they are in different parties. But the president was proud of what he has done and openly commended him. So that is nice. I'm not so surprised. Like I said, for a long time we've had a lot of people who are not really prepared for the job. Who the only thing is just that because they are politicians and they know how to win elections.
Let me just get there.
They just win elections. We've always had a lot of people like that. But now we're having a new set of leaders who are better educated, who are well prepared, then who knows what to do. You understand?
Exactly.
So it's something commendable.
Governor Soludo also hailed the president for inclusive leadership style. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I think the president has to be even-handed. You have to be fair to everyone.
True.
And whether they're in your party or not, when they need you, you have to show up for them. And where a governor is doing well, even though it's not in your party, you also should be willing to admit it. And where they need you to be physically present, maybe to inaugurate projects in their state, you also have to make them available. I think the president has been very fair to opposition governors, and that's why he gets the support of people like Governor Soludo, who came out to say the president is very liberal in his leadership approach, and I will enjoin the president to continue to adopt this approach. I was actually happy to hear him commend the governor of Abia State as well, because everyone can see that he inherited a decrepit state.
It's very.
He's doing his best to change things, and he had the praise of Mr. President.
Exactly.
Meaning that if you are doing well, the president will praise you.
We'll notice you as well and praise you. We need to go on this quick break, okay? And when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did
the news? First with breaking news.
All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have BKO right here and also Mayor Akinpelu. Let's move straight to our next conversation. The governor of Kogi State, Usman Ododo, is leaving nothing to chance regarding securing the north-central state. Governor Ododo has ordered the immediate crackdown on the attackers responsible for the recent violence in Odo-Ape community located in Kababunu, local government area of the state. In a statement signed by the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fowl, the state security advisor has been directed by the governor to collaborate with security agencies and local vigilante groups to ensure that the perpetrators are arrested and brought to justice. Mikhail, it's great to know that the governor has ordered for the immediate arrest of the perpetrators. Don't you agree?
Yes, but I also think that it makes sense to put measures in place to ensure that this sort of attack does not happen again. How do you just go into people's farmlands and open fire on them, unprovoked attacks on people, in their farmlands? One of the reasons food is expensive in our country is the fact that some criminal headsmen are making life difficult for farmers. People can go deep into their farms. People are comfortable just farming beside their homes, and that's not enough to feed their family and to sell and make money. Because we just have to address that problem of insecurity. And Kogi is one of the biggest states in Nigeria. I think the 13th biggest state in Nigeria, and there's a lot of arable land in Kogi State. But if people do not feel safe, how do they then go into their farms?
Exactly.
We want our GDP to improve. Agriculture still contributes the highest chunk of our GDP. How do we stimulate growth when people cannot farm, when people are afraid? So the people came into Odo-Ape, and Odo-Ape is a community that has opened its doors to people from other parts of our country, especially the Fulani.
Okay.
They have an impressive presence in that community. People stop in the community, buy things like yam, even charcoal.
Okay.
They have plenty of merchants of charcoal in that community. An attack on innocent people in any community stands condemned, and Governor Dodo has to show no mercy to these people. The same way that his boss and leader, Yabelo, showed no mercy to bandits. He has to show them that, yes, Kogi is located in the center of our country. But it doesn't mean that Kogi is open to all comers. Sure. Those who want to do business in Kogi, genuinely, they are free to come. Those who want to come into Kogi to kidnap our people, they have to send them a message to their maker. Send a message through them to their maker. It's as simple as that. We can't have a situation where we just come into our community and start killing our people. Senator Karime has been complaining. Yes. That is a big problem for him. They built a forward operation base for the army the other day in the Yagba land because they are coming to kill innocent farmers. That has to stop. That has to stop. So apart from demanding the immediate arrest of those who carried out these killings, measures must be put in place to ensure that these things don't happen again. The vigilantes must be strengthened. We must arm them to be able to confront these good-for-nothing people. You know, I'm happy that the other people, even they protested because they are saying that, look, why should this be happening? What is the crime of the people who are killed?
He has talked about proactive measures. It's not just about going and arresting.
Yes, I agree. I agree absolutely with him. One of the key achievements of Yaya Bello in Kogi State was in the area of security. And I want to enjoy Governor Dodo not to. Apparently, he dropped the ball one way or the other. And they should try to work more on the situation of security that is on ground. Because when you say that people should be, that they should fish now, yeah, it's good. They should be made to account for what they've
reactionary.
Done. But what is most important is to put a security machinery in place that will make it difficult, if not impossible, for these criminals who call themselves S-men to go into people's farms and kill them. It has reduced for some time, but it's not something that we must not allow them to come back or to have this feeling that they can do such things and get away with it. So, Governor Dodo, apart from making sure that these people are made to face the full wrath of the law, then he should also put machinery in place so that this kind of thing do not happen again.
Exactly.
Yes, along the way, somebody dropped the ball.
And I also think Senator Sunday Karimi should also work with state and federal security agencies to fight these criminals.
Yes, you know, they are everywhere. They are everywhere. And they are behaving like they own our country. They don't own an inch of space in our country. So they need to be dealt with severely. Our people should be able to go freely into their farms and make a living for themselves.
Exactly. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. The extradition of Simon Ekpa is still very much in progress. The federal government has submitted most of the requirements to fast-track the process. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, expressed hope that the government of Finland will do the right thing to expedite the process. PKO, in your opinion, is the federal government doing all it can to make sure that Simon Ekpa faces justice?
No, they are. The federal government is doing its best, but whether it will be extradited to Nigeria is what we do not know. You know, extradition trials are by nature very tricky. They can last for years. At the end of the day, you may not even achieve your aim. And that's why, especially where the accused person has the citizenship of Finland. They may want to try him using the laws of their own country rather than sending him here. Some of the negative stories about our country, they in fact work against is extradition, because I constantly accusing the judiciary of not being up to it, of being corrupt. You are saying that the justice system in our country does not always favor people who are up against the government, or does not always favor activists and all that. So he's accused of propagation of terrorism-related rhetorics and all that, so which is a crime in their own country, in Finland. So it all depends on how Nigeria pushes aggressively the case for its trial. Otherwise, remember the case of Ibori now. Ibori was put, the EFCC had a case against Ibori. Ibori was deemed not to have committed an offense. And the same document, the same facts that the justice system here didn't use to convict him were used to convict him in the UK. They not only jailed him, they jailed his wife, they jailed girlfriend, they jailed lawyer.
His lawyer too.
So what are we talking about? It's I know that Ekpa's lawyers are going to argue that he will not get justice in Nigeria. And some of the things that Nigerians write about our judicial system may actually work against us.
But this is a matter of terrorism. Nigeria is signatory to Rome Statute.
Yes,
Finland is.
Yes,
why should he not be?
I'm awful. Why I'm awful is this. I agree with him absolutely that because of the way our judiciary is perceived, it may be very, very difficult. Because, you know, European governments do not joke with human rights. If they believe that the person being accused will not get justice or fair justice, they will believe that it is not fair to extradite the guy to your country. But what I'm hopeful is that already he has been detained in Finland and been tried there. So that shows that they do not agree with the things he was doing.
Okay.
And there are enough evidence to show that he engaged in acts of terrorism.
I know all over the world, governments do not joke with terrorism.
True.
That is the only thing that can work for us. So that's why I'm hopeful, because people like Ekpa should be made to account for all the nonsense that he did. You cannot stay in another country and wage war against your country and incite people against your country. And you think that
he's making money off
all this nonsense. Exactly. And you think he can get away with it. He must be brought to account. He must pay for all the nonsense he did. So I'm hopeful that it will be. But even if he's not,
justice will be served.
Yes, justice will be served. Even in Finland, because already he's in prison and he has been denied bail. So justice will be served.
And they've established that they were actually using the group to make money. Some guys who are working with him, mobilizing money, and the guys of in the guys of freedom fighting, they've been arrested. So it's not the only person who has been arrested. So I think that they have a good hang on the matter, and somehow justice will be served and seen to have been served. But whether they will extradite him to Nigeria, only a proper extradition trial will determine that.
But another thing, before we go to our Zoom guest, will the arrest and possible extradition of Simon Ekpa bring peace to the southeast?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because you know that Simon Ekpa himself is a faction. The core people in IPOB do not really agree with him.
Yes.
He's just somebody that, because of incarceration of Kanu, he played on that. He played on that vacuum. He occupied it and was using it for himself. Even when he will give order that people should not come out on a particular day, IPOB will say, no, they are not part of that.
Yes.
And he kept getting away with it. So that will not solve all the problems. Because the issue...
He doesn't even believe in Nnamdi Kanu anymore.
Yes, anymore, yes.
Because there was a time I did issues with Jide.
Yes.
I was saying that, look, the people still respect Nnamdi Kanu more than him. He launched into tirade, was attacking me. Because I said in the southeast, the people still see Nnamdi Kanu more as a hero than himself. So he started attacking me. So to him now, Nnamdi Kanu does not amount to anything. He's just doing what he's doing, believing that, okay, he has replaced
Nnamdi Kanu in the struggle.
But
so what will now bring peace to the South? The release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu?
nobody can guarantee that the release will put an end to this agitation. I think that over time, cultists never do well. So all kinds of people have hijacked the struggle. And that's why Nnamdi Kanu will sign that there is no seat at home anymore. Yes. He used his own hand, he wrote it. When Senator Effiang Yuba and Eze Chukwemekari of Enugu Aguleri went to see him in detention, he said, okay, from now on, in the past, they said, okay, only when it's brought to court.
Okay.
Yes, we'll be sit at home. Later, they went to him and said, this thing is destroying the economy of the Southeast. I think Senator Abaribe also joined them. Okay. And he agreed. In his own hand, he said, no more sit at home at any time. Yet, Simon Ekpa, who did not institute it in the first place, so this thing was instituted by IPOB. Simon Ekpa continued to do sit at home. So it's like, as far as he's concerned, it has nothing to do with IPOB. And that was why IPOB disowned him.
Yeah, he's not powerful.
They said, no, we do not approve of his actions.
Exactly.
So we will see what happens. I know that Kanu's release will definitely reduce.
Yeah, go a long way in doing that.
To put an end to it, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Still talking about it, I think we're having issues with our Zoom guest. We're having issues with our Zoom guest. But the issue of the matter of extradition, can the extradition process work? Can Nigeria actually satisfy that process? Another question is the fact that Nigeria does not have extradition treaty with Finland.
That is the main problem. That is not, it's not whether it can be extradited or not. The problem basically is that we don't have a treaty.
The treaty.
So they are not under any obligation, legal obligation to extradite him, because we don't have a treaty. That is the main problem. Not that, because we have enough evidence.
But we have bilateral relationship with them.
Yeah, but
is that not a
bilateral relationship is different. Having extradition agreement is different.
Countries go into
different
such deals to exchange prisoners, to exchange detainees and all that. If, for example, between us, the UK and UAE, for example, they have it, and that was why it was easy to send. Yeah. It was easy to send Ibori to that place. So Nigeria, I remember that we actually signed, during the Buhari regime, we got into that deal with the UAE. And you've seen that the UAE even helped us to arrest some sponsors
of Boko Haram. Yes, exactly.
So now, it's really of value when countries get into this kind of agreement. We say, okay, we will exchange prisoners, we'll share information about insecurity and all that. We will exchange detainees, as the case may be. It's really of value. If that had been the case, someone will know that it will, by now maybe it will even be in Nigeria.
Well, of course, by now, yeah.
I was thinking maybe there would be some, since there is a matter of terrorism here.
No. What I'm saying, there's a difference between almost all countries have relationship with each other.
Exactly.
It's different from when you have a bilateral agreement, because that bilateral may it binding on you to do that. Now, because you don't have that bilateral agreement, It is now left for the government of Finland to use their discretion to agree whether they should send the person to you or not.
Okay, let's see if we have our Zoom guest ready. Joining us via Zoom for more discussion. Okay, we need to go on this. We need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere.
Sometimes it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
School, I need students, but I need teachers.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything. If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet, sour taste for all their demands. A familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development, as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
All right, welcome back. It's still journalist Hangout, still talking about this matter of extradition. The matter of Burujika, the late Burujika Shamu's case now comes to remembrance here. What are your thoughts on it?
You see,
in relation to this.
Like you said earlier, extradition process is a very complex and tricky thing. Yes. There are people, especially DEA in America, they've been here, and they've taken some people to America. It has happened severally. But in most cases, it's a very complex thing. For example, the Burujika Kashamu. Burujika Kashamu was accused by some courts in Illinois that he was involved in drug allegations and all that. And he came up with the explanation that it was mistaken identity. So that particular call, there was somebody there was a lady that was jailed who gave a lot of things. So a benchmark was usually that he should be arrested.
Yes.
And it was being on for a long time. So that's why he could not travel to America and all that. But eventually, DEA people came in and wanted to take him. They've agreed with officials of the Nigerian government. Yes. But Burujika Kashamu went to court and told them that it is illegal. What they wanted to do is illegal. And the court agreed with him that he cannot be extradited. They were already here. In fact, when they wanted to arrest him, he had to lock himself up in his bedroom.
I remember.
In his bedroom. And he insisted that he was not going to leave that bedroom. So there was a standoff. And
subsequently, they went to court. And the court ruled that NDLA cannot arrest, extradite him, give him up for extradition and all that. So it's a very complex thing. It's not only enough for you to be accused of something. It's not only enough for you to adduce evidence.
Yes.
Indicting the person so accused. There are a lot of other things involved when it comes to extradition. It's a very tricky thing.
It's a very tricky thing.
You have to look at that because Burujika Kashamu has been, there was a court thing. They've been on for a long time. They've been saying it's not true and all that, and they've been going back and forth until when the American government now asked for his extradition from officials of the state here, and I think the Attorney General there, I can't pick his name now, agreed with that. So all the papers were signed without him knowing. So officials of the drug industry in America and they wanted to take him. And the only thing that saved him
took over his streets.
Yeah, the only thing that saved him was because he was at home when they came.
And he locked himself
in there. He locked himself up and refused to come out from that room. And it was a bulletproof door, so there's no way.
There was no way to get insurance.
So there was that standoff. For a long time, it was only in his bedroom calling his lawyers and all that. So eventually, I think it was a weekend. So the following Monday, they went to court and they were able to get an order restraining NDLA from doing that.
All right, I think it's a fine place for us to leave it. Let's move straight to our final conversation. For some years, the state of roads in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, gave it a bad image. But big changes are happening in some communities located in Ifo, local government area of the state, like Ajuwon, Ayawele, Hercules, and Akute. After decades of grappling with bad roads, the state government has begun massive intervention to fix the roads. In this journalist hangout weekend special, TVC News' Sarah Ayeko reports on the joy of the people and the expectations regarding the projects.
Located near Lagos, the commercial center of Nigeria, Akute and its neighboring communities has become the convenient option for people who work in Lagos but can't afford the high cost of living there. Most of them rent apartments in Enugu State and commute to Lagos for work. It's a busy and vibrant community, but the lack of investment in infrastructure like road has made life really difficult for residents and motorists. Akute has 3 main entry and exit points: the Alagbole Akute Lamde Road, the Ajuwon Akute Road, and Denro Ishashi Akute Road. On these routes, commuting is difficult and life-threatening, not just for motorists, but for commercial motorcyclists who populate the area. For commuters along the Denro Ishashi Akute Road, all they needed was at least a 4.65-kilometer road with a 30-meter bridge to enhance connectivity to Lagos State and boost the economy of adjoining communities.
This is the newly constructed Denro Ishashi Akute Road, and it was commissioned in November 2024. That's the 22nd of November 2024, to be specific. And it was commissioned by the Ogun State government, of course. But another thing that the Ogun State government did was to construct this piece of infrastructure. That's the bridge that cuts across the canal section of this road. This bridge is not just a piece of infrastructure. For the people, it's a game changer because it reduces travel time. Before now, what they used to have is a bridge made of planks, and it was really difficult for residents in Denro, Ishashi, Akute to access Lagos communities.
While residents are thrilled with the new road infrastructure, they are calling on the government to take it to the next level, lighten up the roads. With proper street lights, drivers will be able to navigate safely at night, making the roads even more convenient and secure.
Before it was Jaka, Poto, so in fact, we cannot be able to have access to. But as for now, it's okay. It's motorable now. So we are enjoying it now. It will take us up to an hour plus before we get to our destination. But now, it will take us like 30 minutes or 15 minutes before we get to our destination.
Ní time August, September, títí wọ November, a máa ní challenges lórí ọ̀nà torí omi máa ń kún wá. Wọ́n máa ń kan pákó sí ọ̀nà ẹ̀, but a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn wípé kò sí yẹn mọ́, wípé wọ́n bá wa ṣe ọ̀nà ẹ̀, wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe láṣeyọrí, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. But mo wá ń bẹ̀ wọ́n, mo tún rọ̀ wọ́n wípé kán àwọn ọ̀nà tó kù kán wá bá wa ṣe, kán má gbàgbé wa. Ṣé rí ọ̀nà Lambeth Road yẹn títí lọ sí Ìjókòó Road, kán jọ Amosu ló ṣe abandon project fún wa ń bẹ̀, ṣóyé, but a bẹ̀ wọ́n kán má wo ti Amosu, kán bá wa complete ọ̀nà yẹn.
I remember when this road was very, very bad then. Even my baby, he was always having cough because of the dust and all that. But since they did this road, so many things, we are happy. We are very happy. Then after they did the road, there was no bump, there was no speed bumps. It was even an issue when there was no speed bumps. But when they now came back and did speed bumps, everything now calmed down, because that time bike would just be speeding and anyhow you'd be like, calm down, calm down. But since the speed bumps, they added the speed bumps, as if they knew our mind, and they came and did what is best for us.
I normally have pains because of the bad roads. Sometimes even Dangote truck usually fall. The last time I fell, yeah, I'm relaxed. And when it comes about transport, then Tricycle, they find it very difficult to come through this route. They'll tell you they are not going. Instead, they pass through Alagbole. But now, they go straight. Now, you can stop at Ishashi bus stop. You can stop at any bus stop because the road is motorable now.
While residents on the Denro Ishashi Akute axis have something to smile about, Those in Alagbole, Akute, Lambe, Giwa, Agbado, and Okiaro in Ogun State are still burdened by bad roads. The situation at the Alagbole-Akute section is particularly dire. The abandoned lane left unrepaired by a previous government has forced drivers to take matters into their own hands. Many have resorted to using one-way traffic, and this has led to a number of accidents. This is one challenge they have had to contend with for years. Despite the efforts made by successive governments in the state, it isn't easy to imagine the struggles they faced. For years, they've had to skillfully navigate the roads, deal with flooding, and find makeshift solutions just to get around. What is supposed to be an iconic edifice is now a refuse dump site and haven for miscreants. There are abandoned structures at various sections of the Alagbole, Akute, Lambe, Ijoko, Okiaro Road.
Lambe, the road is bad. Shit. We are happy to him. He's trying. God will help him. Let him just to help us. We are appealing. We know that his commitment in Ogun State is too much. The road is in Lagos State, in Ogun State is too much. Let him just help us to do. Maybe it's palliative now.
This vehicle, I have to buy shock absorbers every three months. So that makes it horrible for us to use. And this is the only road we have. This is the only link road we have that links us to Lagos State. But for us coming in from Lambe, from Oshere, it's almost impossible. It's almost impassable.
You need to have an appropriate vehicle for this kind of road. If you don't, brave yourself for the bumpy ride. In the Fesowapo or Dubale community, one issue dominates the conversation whenever they see the cameras: the deplorable state of the 32-kilometer Akute-Ijoko-Okiaro road. Spanning from Yakoyo to Okiaro, this critical route is a nightmare for both motorists and commercial motorcyclists.
It's even better now that it's a dry season. When it is raining, you won't even come. You won't stay. Because you have to hold your steering very well so that you won't even leave the road, because the road has been bad. So my husband, please let us go back to, we used to stay in Agege, Ogba. He said, well, our house is here. What do we do? Please manage it. I cried. I knelt down. Please, let's go back. So what do? We can't carry our house down. We just had to manage it.
Talks on constructing good roads in the community dates back to 1984. But till now, the Akute-Lambe-Ijoko road is still a dream in the pipeline. The poor state of the road is having a devastating effect on local businesses. Many are being forced to shut their doors due to the lack of accessibility and the difficulty in transporting goods and customers.
People have really moved out of the area, but because I feel that there is nothing God cannot do. Just as God has brought you people now, I know that God is going to do it, and this place will be better for us. So we are asking the government that I should please come and do this road for us. For the past 20 years, it has been like this. They should please come and do it for us. So we are begging the government to come and do it for us, so that we can have the feeling, the taste of governance.
Ogun State is rapidly becoming the go-to destination for investors because the governor wants to overhaul the state's infrastructure. Key roads like the Toyin-Giwa Hercules Road, Akute-Ajowo Road, the Alagbole-Ajowo Road are currently under construction. For some, this is a clear indication the government is serious about creating a business-friendly environment. This infrastructure boost is expected to have a ripple effect on the state's economy, making it an attractive hub for commerce and industry.
5 additional projects were approved by the ESCO under the leadership of His Excellency, the Chairman in Council, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, CON. The 5 they are distributed across the 3 senatorial districts. The 5 are reconstruction of Alagbole-Ajowo Road, 2, reconstruction of Akute-Ajowo Road, 3, Toyin Giwa Akulis Road, and bracket Okearo. Those three are in the central Ifo local government, or particularly Ifo 2. I have a board in my office, kind of things we're looking at that are deemed urgent. So those three are already on the board. The other one, also, one of them is the remaining section of the Akute Ijoko, the 17 kilometers. In my hand is the layout, what we are working with, trying to do the development of the project. That's layout. So the remaining 17 kilometers will be divided into two. One end from Akute to somewhere in Okearo, where it is convenient and also be able to address the water issue of flooding, so it won't be a major problem in the community in that area. Then the other part will be from there to Ijoko, the remaining section. So that will soon happen as directed by His Excellency. So those are, then in addition, we are looking at other various projects across the whole 20 local governments.
The governor has given his order to contractors and his promise to residents of Akute, Lambe, Okearo, and Hercules communities. It says in less than 3 months, they will start seeing some changes on the road network in these communities. Until then, if you're going to be visiting these communities, do come with a face mask because the dust is choking. Sarah Ayeku, TVC News, Ogun State.
Wow. This is my state. But it is sad that Ogun State was always in the news for the bad reason because of bad rules. But the narrative is changing now.
It's changing. And as somebody who lives in Ogun State myself, I will tell you something that used to happen to me. There was this woman who has a shop close to Martin's, the main gate that leads to Martin's estate, you know, just after FCMB. There was a little gully in front of the woman's shop. Okay. So, because I do not use tinted glasses, windshield, you can see me as I'm driving, you can see who is in the car. I do not believe in having my windows tinted. So the woman will say, Otitoju, ṣé ìwọ náà wàá lóòrọ̀ náà yé àbí? Àjọ ń jìyà, o lè lọ sọ fún wọn lórí program ẹ, o lè sọ fún wọn pé kán tán náà ṣe, o lè sọ fún wọn kán tán náà ṣe, àjọ ń jìyà ẹ. So she kept harassing me because you have to slow down. So once I slow down,
you just have to
and she sees me, she says, so you cannot tell them that they should fix this road. And you have a program where you can talk to people in government. So I started harassing the commissioner for works. Ade used to be commissioner for works in Lagos during the administration of Ambode. So he's the current commissioner for works in Ogun State. So I kept harassing him. Look, you have to do something. Because I was thinking that one day, this woman will probably take this harassment a step further.
Oh,
by harassing me.
Yeah, by inciting people around.
By inciting people. So I said, let me. So I started piling pressure. So when they now decided that, okay, let's even come and look at these roads. Because in fairness to Dapo Abiodun, he inherited a lot of bad roads. Some of them abandoned. Look at Ojojo Abiodun, Denro Ishashi Road, for example. It was the government of Bengadane that actually opened up the area, created a road linking those communities to Lagos State.
Okay.
But the road was left in a terrible state, and the bridge that was constructed was even bent like this. You know, so somebody was wondering, who is the bricklayer who constructed this road? And it was low, so that when the rains come, the whole area will be submerged, and workers, people who work in Lagos, who live in those communities, now have to use canoe to get to the other side. Usually when you are at the peak of the rainy season, you cannot use that road. But look at that road now. That's the road that the governor... So when I continued to apply pressure, they now told me, look, we are coming, we want to start work. Come and meet us. We are in Ishashi, near the Praise and Miracle Church, the Redeemed Church, Praise and Miracle Parish. That's where they stayed. So I got there, I saw them. The commissioner just wanted me to see him, that we have started work. He said, you are the one harassing us and all that. So I saw that work had begun, and people were happy. They were hailing me. You know, they felt, they must have instigated this work. I'm not saying that anybody should give me credit, but I live in the area. I suffered like the other people, and that woman who kept harassing me, I do not even, if you ask me now to identify her in a crowd, I will not be able to identify, because I always kept a straight face. I knew that, okay, this woman has always on the left, so I will not look in her direction. I will just looking straight. Sometimes I will just be laughing and I will just drive off. But after that, they did some palliative work, and the place became more tolerable. You can then drive all the way to Alagbole. But today, some of the palliative work that they did have collapsed. Those gullies, those little gullies are back, and you have to slow down. But they had to resurface. You know, they resurfaced all the way from Alagbole. Okay. You know, they resurfaced it all the way to Akute, and even those bridges under the abandoned, the bridges abandoned by former Governor Ibikunle Amosu. They actually put roads there. So when Bengadane and his people, I mean, when Lakwabiona and his people boast that they have constructed more roads than any administration in the state, I think that on the strength of what I've seen, I can say they have not lied. Because in my area, once they've completed, because Ayawele, for 8 years, in the rainy season, it was a nightmare to drive through that place. And Yenekuti lives in that area. Yenekuti too will admit that what I'm saying is true. You have to struggle. You have to struggle. But today, the whole area, they've constructed a brand new road. It takes you from Ayawele Junction at Alagbole, it takes you all the way to Ajuwon. Now they are constructing Ajuwon Road now, from Ajuwon to Akute, the last bus stop of Akute. Now the road has been divided into sections. Once you get to somewhere close to Access Bank, the front of Access Bank used to be terrible. It's been like that for years. If you try to drive through that place, your car will be damaged. But today now, they are fixing that road coming from Ajuwon to Akute. So it makes people happy. And of course, even when they are through with that one, people of Lambe, Matogun, going all the way to Giwa Okearo, Abule Ekun, all of them too will complain. Remember those pastors that came together to pray that this year, this governor must do something. Exactly. It was a very funny video that they shot, and the Ogun State government had to respond because the thing went viral. If you see, they were praying like people possessed. Exactly. But at least we've seen between that time and now, the road coming from Ojojo Abiodun, going all the way to Akute, Olakpara Junction, is so motorable. I do that road in just 9 minutes. It takes me from my house to Baga. It takes me just 9 minutes.
9 minutes?
Yes, just 9 minutes. Because
something that used to take hours.
You cannot.
Frequent visit to shock absorber.
Yes, the mechanics workshop and all that. So kudos to the governor. I know that the funds are not endless, but the people still want the governor to do more. Exactly. We have to thank him for what he has done, but we must remind him that there's still a lot left.
Exactly, just like Oliver Twist.
Yes, Governor Abiodun may end up probably being the best governor in Ogun State on the grounds of these rules in it for local government. Because for local government is the biggest local government in Ogun State.
True.
And economically they contribute more than any other local government to Ogun State. But for one reason or the other, maybe because of its proximity to Lagos, subsequent government abandoned that local government. They have these terrible rules. So for any governor to have the foresight to start fixing the rules in that local government, if he can fit in there in this second term, he can fix all the rules in this local government, he will end up being the best governor in that state. Because because of the proximity to Lagos and the sheer number of people living in that local government, you understand? Those rules, because they are inaccessible, affects almost everybody in that local government.
Exactly.
So when you fix those rules, you will live in the memory of those people, because this is something that they've been suffering over the years. I don't know why other governors didn't do it. I'm also trying to do some things, but they abandoned. They would do palliative and they abandoned bridges and
yes, there's too much on Abeokuta.
And yes, and abandoned things. So for any governor to now do it, I would just want to join him to continue. He has done well, but he should move to all the other. I don't know those lands.
Yeah, like Abeokuta North.
Yeah, but he should move to all those other places.
Yeah, there's some roads so Abeokuta North.
So that everybody can commend him for doing things.
But in fairness to the Ogun State government, Ogun State has the longest stretch of federal roads. So the people are not ready to listen to that. They just want good roads.
Yeah, then, waiting and waiting for federal government to fix some of its roads is a waste of time. I like the courage of Governor Abiodun in agreeing, in taking the decision to fix those roads in that industrial hub in Songo. That's what has been abandoned for decades. He has now decided that, okay, I'm taking this upon myself. The era of a minister saying, don't touch our roads, don't go there.
That's gone.
Nobody will listen to that. Road that you couldn't fix, road that you are watching people being killed through accidents and all that. So if a governor says, okay, I want to do this, you better leave the road for them, let them do it.
But BK, some state governors will not want to touch federal road because they feel if they do it, they won't be paid back.
They don't need to be paid back.
Federal roads, federal government will sometimes also say that those states, when they give them the bill, it's always inflated.
Okay. Yes, it's outrageous.
So there's always argument between them, controller of works here and controller of works at the other end in terms of the bill.
Yes.
But I still think that, look, there is your people who are using those roads.
I agree.
Not the people in Abuja. So you have to fix those roads. If you don't fix them, your people will suffer. The governor of Taraba then, Darius Dixon, the road as you are coming in from Adama, that's the main road leading you into Jalingo from Adama State. He constructed, it's a federal road, he constructed it, taking the road all the way to the airport. They are all federal roads. But he said, look, I have to do it, and he made it do a carriageway. I have to do it, if I don't do it, my people will suffer. So, Governor Dapo, despite the paucity of funds, is fixing roads in places that had been abandoned for long. Look at Giwa Okearo. My friend, 2 times they snatched his car along that Giwa Okearo.
Because of the state.
But yes, because at a point you have to slow down.
Slow down.
That's Ademola Adegbamiwe. They snatched his car.
Yeah, he mentioned
it was recovered. It was recovered. That car was recovered because of the tracker in it and all that. Those boys waited. He was going to pass, because you had to go home now.
Exactly.
You know? He was passing through that road again, they waited. This time around, they put him in the car. They say, whenever we get to a filling station, you raise your head up, you smile at people. They must not have the feeling that we kidnapped you. So they will get to a filling station, they want to buy fuel. My friend,
that must be scary.
They made him laugh involuntarily. So that was how they took him all the way outside of Lagos. When they were sure that, okay, we are safe now, they pushed him down.
Oh dear.
Because of that, you know, you are descending after that bridge. You know that, if you know that area where the rear pigs, along that axis, Giwa Okiaro, you know, as you are coming down, the whole of that area, up to the Lagos, the junction, the boundary with Lagos State, the roads are terrible. That's around Toyi. The roads are terrible. Now that's what this governor is already doing, because that Hercules, the road used to be terrible. But now, at least everyone is happy that those roads are getting.
But BK, now that local governments will now be getting more money, should local governments also be helping?
If the governors allow them. Because people don't know that these governors are
because most governors do not agree that
they do not agree.
Because local government should also be helping.
No, local
government roads.
Yes.
There are local government roads that they're supposed to do. And for the state,
we showed some roads that what's his name? Chidi Lloyd. You know, we did a story about some local government roads at Chidi Lloyd.
Yeah.
We showed roads that Oseni Dula did in Shomoluna. They took and fixed it.
Yeah, they are local government roads.
But are these governors going to allow them to spend their funds? Why are governors almost going to kill themselves over local government elections? Many of the local government elections, there are no result sheets. It's not a lie now. No result sheets. They just announce it. If you ask them, okay, give us result sheet, look, polling unit by polling unit, I swear to God, they
can't. No figure,
just to put their own people there. Whom that whenever they need money, they will not argue with them.
Exactly. But anyway, thank you, gentlemen. May I appreciate you as
Thank you.
BK,
thanks.
Thank you very much. And that's all on Journalist Hangouts on Sunday. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of the program at 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11:30. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga Oreshegun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.
Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day, time doesn't just tick away. It's a countdown to political decisions that shape our world.
This country must move.
Imagine the impact these decisions have on our lives. Some are consequential, others may leave us intrigued or baffled.
You will have no better friend and partner than Nigeria.
Step in and feel the frenzy like never before. Join me every weekday for an hour of fact-finding interviews where questions cut to the core.
How would you say your administration has fared in these sectors?
I will dig in to get to the heart of issues, from local politics to global insight. Join me as I unearth the power plays, jaw-dropping revelations, and the unfiltered truth. This isn't just politics, it's unraveling the stories that matter. Brace yourself for Politics Tonight every weekday at 8 p.m., where every decision echoes along the corridors of our lives. Politics Tonight, only on TVC News.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Muraya Afolabi Brand, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of your view are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes, and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, loyal, and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
Thank you for your patriotic commitment to Nigerian unity, stability, and progress.
Parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the emblem appeal launch. Send your donations to these accounts: